This question comes from Mika, who asks, what if we could actually dig to the Earth's core? You might imagine it as the ultimate engineering project, a magnificent gleaming vertical city of industry, boring straight down through rock and magma to plant a flag at the very center of our planet. The final frontier turned inside out. On one level, it's the ultimate symbol of human conquest over nature, a tunnel to our own planet's heart. However, this is not a construction project. It is a descent into a realm where every known rule of engineering, material science, and physics progressively breaks down. Your drill bit isn't fighting rock. It's fighting the entire mass of the planet piled on top of it. The first few kilometers are familiar. We've done that. You pass through the brittle crust, a thin, cracked shell. Then you hit the Mohorovičić discontinuity, the boundary to the mantle. Here, the rock isn't just hotter, it behaves differently. Under immense pressure and heat, solid rock loses its brittleness and becomes plastic. It doesn't crack, it flows like slow-moving putty, sealing any tunnel behind your drill almost instantly. You're not drilling a hole, you're trying to punch a permanent opening in a substance with the consistency of plasticine, while it constantly oozes closed. But let's assume you invent a material that can withstand the 1,000-degree heat and the crushing pressure to keep the tunnel open. Now you're in the mantle proper. The pressure climbs to thousands of atmospheres. The heat rises to over 4,000 degrees Celsius. Here, something insidious happens. The rock around you, while still technically solid, begins to act less like a wall and more like a supercritical fluid. The distinctions between solid, liquid, and gas blur. Your tunnel is no longer surrounded by a wall. It's suspended in a riot of matter that is both punishingly dense and capable of flowing into any microscopic flaw in your structure. You will never reach the outer core. About a third of the way down, you'd hit a barrier that makes all prior problems seem trivial. The pressure becomes so great that the atomic structure of any conceivable material, diamond, graphene, fantasy alloys, would simply recrystallize. Your indestructible drill housing and supports would be forcibly rearranged at the atomic level into new, dense, and useless forms. Your technology wouldn't melt. It would be transmuted by the planet itself. But let's hand-wave again. You push through. You breach the boundary between the silicate mantle and the liquid outer core. There is no drill stroke into liquid. There is a catastrophic, instantaneous implosion followed by an explosion. You have just punctured the high-pressure seal containing a 2,300-kilometer thick ocean of white-hot liquid iron and nickel spinning at a differential speed to create Earth's magnetic field. The pressure differential is astronomical. The molten core material would blast up your tunnel not as a flow, but as a supersonic jet of metallic plasma, vaporizing everything in its path and erupting at the surface with more energy than every nuclear weapon detonated at once. You haven't reached the core. You've tapped a planetary artery. Dr. Keeler's diagnosis? A journey to the core is not a voyage. It is a slow-motion demonstration of material failure on a planetary scale. Each layer of the Earth isn't just a deeper rock. It's a more extreme and alien state of matter. We are protected from these states by 6,371 kilometers of fantastic insulation. But there's a deeper, more philosophical failure here. The goal itself is a mirage. The center you seek is not a place you can stand. The inner core is a solid ball of iron under such pressure that it's a crystalline structure, unlike any on the surface, glowing at 5,700 degrees Celsius, as hot as the sun's surface. You cannot visit it. You can only be annihilated by the processes that create it. The ultimate lesson of the core dig is about proximity. We live on the cool, hardened skin of a living, breathing, dynamic engine. To dig to the core is not to conquer that engine, but to violently disrupt its function. It is the deepest possible form of misunderstanding. We are not separate from our planet, exploring it from the outside. We are a fragile pattern on its surface, entirely dependent on the very layers we'd seek to pierce. The Earth's core isn't a destination. It is the reason our destination, the thin, vibrant, improbably balanced surface, exists at all. To reach for the heart is to ensure the body, and we with it, ceases to beat.